Hey everybody, Ashton and Jordan here from Show Me Vegas, and just a few days ago we heard some news that we've been waiting a long time to hear.
That's right, Fontainebleau, Las Vegas has set an opening date more than 16 years after construction first began. Now there's a lot of misconceptions about this property, why it was never finished, whether or not it would ever open, heck, even how to pronounce the name, and we'll address some of that in this video.
But mostly we wanted to give you a kind of first look into the property, what it looks like, what it's going to have inside, and even the first YouTube room tour, if you will, of the Fontainebleau rooms.
All right, let's get into it. If you've been to Vegas even one time in the last 15 years, you've probably wondered about that big blue tower at the north end of the Strip. It is and always was intended to be a sister property to the Fontainebleau Miami Beach, which is an iconic luxury hotel in Florida that's been open since 1954. Now, after $2 billion had been invested into this thing and it was more than 70% complete, the bank pulled the financing on the construction loans way back in 2009 and it went into bankruptcy. Now, the Fontainebleau saga could fill a book, and as a matter of fact, if you want to know more about the history, I'll direct you to this blog post I made about 2.5 years ago concerning its history. But really what you need to know is this hotel has just been the victim of bad timing. First, the Great Recession, and then the COVID-19 pandemic. Both of those things derailed it. But now the hotel is back in the hands of the original developer, Fontainebleau Development, and Jeff Soffer, and its opening in 2023 will serve as yet another symbol that Las Vegas can and has rebounded from so many things. I mean, there were Clark County commissioners and many Vegas residents who wanted this thing torn down years ago because it served as an ugly reminder of the Great Recession, and now it's actually going to open, and it's going to be awesome.
All right, enough about the history. Let's talk about the opening of Fontainebleau, which will be open to the public on December 13th, 2023.
We so badly wanted to be there for the celebration, but unfortunately we're not going to make it for opening night, which is on a Wednesday. We will be there, however, to stay at the hotel just 2 days later, so be sure and subscribe to the channel and follow us on our Facebook and Instagram pages. That way you can get one of the first looks at what this hotel looks like after it opens.
But for now, let's take a virtual tour of what has been released so far and what we can expect when Fontainebleau opens in December.
Since Fontainebleau Development took this project back over, they've been positioning it to be one of the premier luxury hotels in Vegas. Their plans actually are to rival even the Wynn in terms of luxury. In fact, they even famously poached quite a few Wynn executives in recent months.
We finally had the opportunity to take a look at some of the photos as well as the renderings, which has been really hard to find up until recently. So you're going to see here some of the inside views of the lobby, one of the bars, and it's really got this amazing Gatsby meets modern vibe, which I think is really cool. Overall, the property so far just looks really beautiful and elegant.
Now, there haven't been a ton of renderings of the casino, but here's some of them. Right in the middle of it, you'll see this casino bar called Blue Bar. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. The casino itself is going to cover 150,000 square feet, which is pretty big even by Vegas standards. The biggest casino in Clark County is the MGM Grand, and that's about 171,000 square feet. So this is a big casino by any standard. There's also, of course, going to be a race and sports book. It looks more of a sports bar, but it looks very cool. Also, gaming outdoor at the pool area.
So moving on from the casino, the next thing we're going to take a look at are the rooms at Fontainebleau. And apparently they're supposed to be rivaling Wynn and Encore's rooms, and in that case, they better be really nice.
In all, Fontainebleau will have 3,644 rooms, ranging from standard rooms to incredible suites. Now, the base room at Fontainebleau is going to be this one, the blue room. That's the room we have booked for December. Ashton, what do you think?
Overall, I think the room looks really nice. I like a lot of the artwork. It appears to have a lot of cabinet space and maybe even a closet over there that looked really nice. The bathrooms, it's kind of hard to tell. It looks maybe a little small, but they do feel and look luxurious.
Yeah, I like the room overall. I think it looks warm and inviting, and it's hard to tell from renderings exactly, what the room's going to look like in person, but I think it looks pretty nice. Is it Wynn nice? You just have to get into one, I think, to really be able to tell. I will say it looks like the bathroom does have a water closet, so that's always good. I know you mentioned you thought it looked kind of like Resorts World.
Yeah, I think it has a very similar feel almost to a Resorts World room. And I really do, I will say I like the little dining table with the chairs over there, and also the floor-to-ceiling windows really open up that room in itself.
Stepping up from the base blue room is the gold room, and I think the biggest difference here is really just the location. These have better views. Up from that is the platinum room. This one looks a little bit awkward. It looks nice, it's bigger, but it looks a little bit awkward. I mentioned that TV over there doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's the only TV in the room, and it's sitting in a really weird spot. All right, we'll talk about the prices here in a minute. They are expensive, so the suites are probably out of most people's budgets, but I've got to show you, Ashton, this one suite. It's called the Noble Suite. Look at this thing. Look how cool this is.
Yeah, it's definitely really cool. The area reminds me a lot of a corner suite at Aria that we've stayed in before as far as the space goes, but I love, again, the floor-to-ceiling windows, especially in the bedroom itself. It's got a really nice wet bar that you can sit at, as well as several seating options throughout that entire suite.
Yeah, that one's likely well outside our price range, as it is probably most of yours. When we went to book for opening weekend Fontainebleau rooms, just the standard rooms were north of $500 a night. Now that's opening weekend, that's not going to be completely normal, but we did look at the rate calendar, and even weekdays in the wintertime are $300 a night and up. Weekends, $500, $600, $700, so very much win prices. So these rooms, if they're going to compete with the win on price, they better compete with the win on luxury, and it's hard to tell from renderings, but so far they look pretty nice.
So let's go back downstairs, if you will, and we're going to take a look at some of the restaurant lineups that they are set to have at Fontainebleau. When all is said and done, Fontainebleau is going to be offering 36 new and different food and beverage options.
They're not all listed on the website just yet, but here's what they are showing so far, and they look pretty nice. There are 2 steakhouses on property. The first one is Don's Prime. This one is supposed to be an old school steakhouse, and it does look very much like that. Traditional dining.
The other steakhouse is going to be what is called Poppy Steak. Poppy Steak uses golden era Hollywood swagger with modern day spectacle to create an entirely new steakhouse experience, which sounds pretty darn cool.
They're calling it high energy and next level group dining, so this definitely looks like it's following the trend of loud, fun, trendy restaurants. Not your traditional dining experience, something completely different. Like all mega resorts in Vegas these days, the hotel will feature every different type of cuisine, from Asian to Italian to the traditional steakhouse. Moving into the more casual dining, you've got the Tavern, which is essentially the sports book, sports bar on this property. That looks pretty neat.
Vita will be open for breakfast and lunch, and it's more of a contemporary American favorite, so very casual. It looks really pretty. It kind of carries through the theme of the blue and gold from the casino.
The Promenade will be Fontainebleau's food hall. What's a Vegas hotel in 2023 without a food hall? Of course they're going to have one. You'll see there's a coffee place, there's a place for snacks and salads. Of course there's going to be burgers, of course there's going to be sushi. Also pizza and also a bagel spot. This looks very similar to Proper Eats over at Aria. But if you're going to keep up these days, you have to offer a food hall, and this is the food hall at Fontainebleau.
Now, we said that there are going to be some strange restaurants, and what's more strange than something called the washing potato? So it literally says a study in Chinese noodle perfection utilizing black box theater lighting for sense-heightening drama in every bite. Boy, I sure hope so.
I don't even know what I don't even know what that means. Also, in the casual dining portfolio, there's of course a poolside restaurant. This one's a Mediterranean style. There's Chez Bonbon, which is a grab-and-go place that's essentially a coffee shop. According to the website, there does not appear to be a Starbucks on property, but I bet by the time they open, there will be at least one. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Fontainebleau's bars and lounges. I don't think we have all the information just yet, because originally this hotel was supposed to have a rooftop lounge that looks right down the strip. This is the tallest building in Las Vegas, and that's going to be an awesome view, but none of what's here on the website so far appears to be that lounge, but there are some pretty cool looking places.
Now, we had showed you some of these pictures earlier before, but this is going to be where the blue bar sits, which is kind of center of the casino, and it looks absolutely amazing, super glamorous, and in the middle, of course, you have this massive chandelier.
The rest of the lounge portfolio so far looks pretty pedestrian. It looks like the same stuff you see at all the other Vegas resorts. There's a Zool, that is, of course, a mezcal and tequila bar.
Next up is Collins, which is supposed to be an intimate lobby bar.
The lounges include Nowhere and Solo. Quite frankly, these look kind of forgettable. Nowhere is supposed to have kind of a speakeasy vibe to it. Solo is going to sit right off the casino floor. Looks like it actually has some table games inside. But really, with just a few renderings, it's hard to say what these are going to look like, and we don't have any cocktail menus or any food menus on the website so far.
All right, so let's talk about the pool, which is one of my favorite things when talking about Las Vegas resorts.
Yeah, this pool, what we've seen of it so far, looks absolutely awesome. This could easily become one of our favorite pools in Vegas, I think, based on what we've seen.
Now, earlier we had mentioned that this is the actual sister property of the Fontainebleau in Miami, and really you could see it when you're looking at this pool concept. It looks right out of Miami.
Yeah, I really love that bar in the middle that has kind of a gazebo, if you will, over it. Not only does that have an Art Deco Miami architecture kind of flair to it, it also looks a lot like the La Conca Hotel that used to be in Las Vegas.
Oh, it does, yeah.
The lobby of that hotel has been preserved and turned into the lobby of the Neon Museum, and this looks a lot like that while still looking like this Miami vibe.
Now, and another thing I want to point out too is that it kind of reminds me of Resorts World, but there seems to be a lot of umbrellas and opportunities for shade.
Coming to the pool area this spring is going to be Live Beach, a large day club. In all, the pool area at Fontainebleau is going to be 6 acres. It's going to feature 7 water features. It's going to be on the 3rd floor roof deck, and it's going to house 4 bars, 2 restaurants, and 2,300 square feet of outdoor gaming space. Okay, from an entertainment standpoint, of course, Fontainebleau is going to have a nightclub. It's going to be Live Nightclub. This is actually a sister property to Live Nightclub in Miami.
And the property is also going to be featuring a 3,800 seat theater, with it opening on New Year's Eve, with the first act being Post Malone.
So that's a little overview of the soon-to-open Fontainebleau Las Vegas. We can't wait to get out there and check it out on grand opening weekend. On the surface, it seems like just another hotel opening on the Las Vegas Strip, and in some respects it is. But on the other hand, just a few years ago, this hotel opening was so inconceivable, but now it's a reality, and as I mentioned earlier, this hotel opening serves as a symbol that Vegas has overcome so much and will continue to overcome anything that's thrown at it in the future. Not only that, but this hotel opening is the second major milestone for the North Strip. First it was Resorts World, and now it's this. I firmly believe that in 10 years we won't recognize the North Strip, and it will actually become the hub of all the new construction and development in Las Vegas.
Thanks for watching this video, guys, and be sure if you like this video to give it a thumbs up and subscribe.
We'll see you in the next one, because there's always more for us to show you
On Show Me Vegas. Bye, guys.